Hey everyone, and welcome back to my late life lesbian journey. On my channel, I discuss and share sort of just my journey and process and experiences of going from being married to a man, getting divorced, and coming out as a lesbian. If you would like to follow my journey, please subscribe. And for those of you who have already subscribed, thanks and welcome back. So I recently had a question, kind of just asking what things were like for me after I got divorced. And so this kind of got me thinking, and I thought this would be a good video to share, is just sort of my emotional journey and process of getting divorced and kind of coming out. So to start off with, I think one of the first emotions and things that I went through was excitement, in all honesty. I was excited and relieved and happy to sort of get this opportunity to finally date women and explore this side of myself, and almost even like this newfound independence and freedom, I guess. I had never really just like, I bought my own home and I was on my own and I was doing all these things. And for me, it had a level and degree of excitement. I was doing all of this stuff on my own and making it work. So I really feel like the first sort of emotional process I went through was overall just like excitement. I definitely had my process of, obviously being sad. There was a lot of big changes that went on with our divorce being finalized, and we moved out of the home we had together, and the process of like finding my own home and all of that. And there were definitely moments of like sadness and needing to kind of have like some closure moments of like saying goodbye to our old house together and things like that. But initially, like the biggest thing was almost just kind of like excitement. And not that I had a bad relationship with my ex-husband or anything. We had like this good relationship, but it's just more of like my personal feeling and emotion and how I felt initially. So going and moving on from there, I jumped into kind of dating women and exploring that. And it was a new and thrilling and exciting thing for me. But not all relationships work out. And I definitely had, some short relationships that, just didn't work out and didn't go well and things like that. And I would often find that there would be times that I guess you could say I would get triggered, and I would have kind of just emotional meltdowns because it still is kind of mourning the old life that you had. I said I never questioned or thought maybe I made a mistake or anything like that. I never thought that, but it's still sort of like a loss of something that you had. So I even remember the first wedding that I went to. I went to my cousin's wedding and I never even thought about it, but suddenly at the reception, a song came on that was like one of the last songs that my ex-husband and I had danced to together, and I lost it. I didn't even think that it would be an issue, but I lost it because it was a period of just sort of mourning the relationship that I had had with him. We were together a long time, and, I did love him. And so this just sort of sadness kind of overtook me. And I remember that being a moment. Another moment I had was our first Christmas apart. My best friend was in town, and I remember this moment. Like, we had gone over to his house to hang out and just visit because my best friend and he and I, like, we were all good friends together, and we've always had been on good terms and had a friendship. And it was just a moment that hit me because, again, it was sort of mourning what we had had. It reminded me of the times we had had when we were married and when we were together. And it just was sort of a sadness that hit me, and I broke down with my best friend, and I think then thinking this is our first Christmas apart, and, we're doing this from a co-parenting role. And so it was just kind of a period of time, like a moment where I just sort of had to like let that emotion out. So, moving on from there, I don't feel like I've had many more of those moments. being in the dating world and things like that, things would definitely be hard, because, again, like I said, I kind of had some ups and downs and some frustrating dating experiences and things like that. And I think I always would get frustrated or hope or get sad, because I wanted to find something, that was at least comparable to sort of like what I had with him. And I've always said like wanted something even better. And so, there would be times of like just frustration, I guess, of, why can't I find something, or, just trying to figure all of that out. I will say it was never like, oh, maybe I made a mistake and I need to go back to him or anything, but it definitely is an emotional process. I feel like I'm at a point now, where I'm really good with things, and I feel like I'm just in a really good place, and I don't feel like I have moments where I get triggered or emotional or upset. But it's taken time, and it's been a process and a journey. So I guess really for those of you who are, find yourself in a situation similar to mine, I would expect there to be some emotional ups and downs, especially if you kind of still had somewhat of a good relationship, or like you loved or you cared about your ex-husband, which in my experience, I feel like a lot of people do, but they just realize this aspect of themselves that they truly want to be with a woman. It will, like, you may experience some of the same things, like this level of excitement and newfound freedom and independence and like sort of living this authentic self, but yet still mourning the loss of something that you had. And so I thought I would just share that process, of what I went through. I don't know, maybe some of you just were in a toxic relationship and it just feels good and you're free to be out of it and all of that. But, I don't know, just for those of you who are kind of going through this process, you could experience some of these emotions yourself. And so I wanted to share because, again, maybe me sharing will help you not feel so alone, or, make it feel like maybe there's something wrong with you or something. I think it's just, we're all going to go through our emotional process, and that's to be expected sort of with any breakup that you have. Any girl that I've broken up with, there's been an emotional process that I've had to go through to sort of heal from and move on. So, I think kind of whatever you go through is normal and to be expected, but I don't know, hopefully me sharing sort of helps you kind of in your process and your journey. And yeah, so if you want, you can reach out to me on Instagram at ecbettis. Feel free to leave a comment below, if you need a chat, or, let me know kind of what you've been through. Love to hear from you. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in another video again soon. Thanks.